Get Newcastle United FC updates directly to your inbox. Plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe? Try again later. Invalid email. Newcastle United crashed to a 7th defeat in 8 matches as Everton claimed a narrow 1-0 victory at St James Park. Karl Darlow fumbled an Aaron Lennon header from point-blank range in the 27th minute, allowing Wayne Rooney to stab in a winner for Sam Allardyce's Toffees. Jonjo Shelvey was also sent off in injury time after picking up a second yellow card, meaning he will be unavailable for the trip to Arsenal on Saturday. Rafa Benitez's Magpies have now won just once in a dozen matches, and the Spaniard has lost 4 straight Premier League home matches for the first time in his career. Here, NUFC writer Chris Waugh takes us through what we learned from another depressing evening on Tyneside. 1. Mistakes keep costing Newcastle, and Rafa faces a big decision over his goalkeepers now. This game followed a similar patterns to several others recently. United may not have taken the lead, but they started well, and were very much in the game. After 26 minutes of relative calm, and of little action, a chaotic 60 seconds brought the opening goal. At one end, Matt Ritchie was extremely unlucky to see his shot from the edge of the area rattle back off the woodwork. Everton countered. Dominic Calvert-Lewin centered across from the right, and Aaron Lennon, one of the shortest players on the pitch, somehow rose unmarked to direct a header straight at Darlow. The Newcastle goalkeeper got down to his right to parry, but he should have collected it. Instead, the ball trickled across the 6-yard box and, with Darlow reacting too slowly, Rooney slid in to prod home. It was no surprise to see the former England captain score, given that this was his 15th goal against Newcastle, more than he has netted against any other club. But the mistake which led to the goal was criminal. With Benitez having only dropped Rob Elliott 4 games ago, he now has a huge decision to make. Given that privately he believes that once you change your goalkeeper, it is not something you can suddenly reverse soon after. Yet this was Darlow's second mistake in as many matches, and the United shot stopper appears low on confidence. Benitez now has a crucial decision to make. Stick with Darlow at Arsenal, recall Elliott, or perhaps even throw Freddie Woodman in for his debut. 2. Pity the fool who attempts to predict a Benitez midweek side. Rotation is back in vogue at St James Park, just as this correspondent suspected it might be earlier this month. For the first 3.5 months of the campaign, United were only playing once a week. But, with 6 games inside 20 days between now and January 1st, Benitez has reverted to resting players and utilizing his squad. As a result, Joselu, who had arguably his most impressive game for the Magpies against Leicester City at the weekend, was dropped to the bench along with Isaac Hayden. Kieran Clark and Jacob Murphy also found themselves out of the side, but they were expected omissions in order to accommodate the returning Christian Atsu and captain Jamal Lascelles. Interestingly, Shelvey, who had been named on the bench for 3 straight matches, was recalled to the side to once again reprise his exciting midfield partnership with Mikel Merino. Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Perhaps in order to provide additional defensive cover to that attack-minded duo, and also in an attempt to shore up a midfield who were exposed and physically bullied by the Foxes at the weekend. Mo Diame also featured in the starting lineup. While Shelvey's recall may have been roundly celebrated, Diame's elevation to the 11 was not so universally accepted, it's fair to say. For 27 minutes, the reversion to 4-2-3-1 appeared to work. The Magpies were not exactly expansive in attack, but defensively they were solid. Diame and Shelvey did not exactly shine, with the latter receiving a silly late red, though. Lascelles and Otsu did certainly add something to this Newcastle side. Nobody ever talks about rotation when the side is winning. But when they are not, then it is instantly highlighted. Just like Jurgen Klopp was questioned for changing players at the weekend. Benitez will be 2-3. If Newcastle fall behind, the game is as good as over. So far this season, the Magpies have collected just 2 points from losing positions. And those were during draws against Liverpool and West Bromwich Albion. They have yet to claim a victory from behind this term. However, as soon as the Toffees took the lead in the 27th minute, it always looked a long way back for United. And, though the Magpies huffed and puffed, they dominated possession for long spells. In truth, they rarely looked like getting level. Never mind claiming a much-needed victory. Marino and Ritchie did both hit the woodwork, while Florian Lejeune saw a header sail just wide. But apart from that, the clear-cut opportunities were in short supply. Given Newcastle's propensity to concede sloppy goals, this is an issue they simply must address, particularly given the crucial run of fixtures they have coming up. 4. That 20-point Christmas target is looking ambitious now. Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Benitez has repeatedly stated over the last 6 weeks that the Magpies must aim to reach the 20-point mark once 19 games have elapsed. Well, here we are after 17, and United have collected just 15 points so far. Worryingly, the last 3 defeats have seen them slip behind the 1-point-per-game ratio, which usually keeps you clear of the relegation zone. If Newcastle are now going to reach that 20-point target, they must win twice in London on consecutive Saturdays. First at Arsenal, then at West Ham United. The Magpies have traditionally struggled in the capital at the best of times, while United have won just once away from home in the top flight in 2 years. Suddenly, that 20-point target is not only looking ambitious, it is appearing almost unattainable. 5. Festive cheer off the field, but on pitch matters bring them with the ghosts of the past. Newcastle fans rightly welcomed news of a potential positive development in takeover talks between Mike Ashley and Amanda Staveley earlier in the day. But the festive cheer soon returned to disappointment, as is so often the case with Allardyce sides. His team were extremely difficult to break down, and, if truth be told, United rarely threatened to do so. It is now 7 defeats in 8 games, and 10 in total in the Premier League so far this season. But, with 15 points still to play for between now and January 1st, Newcastle cannot simply afford to rely on investment in January and a potential new owner to save them. Benitez and his Magpies side must find results in the short term, because otherwise they could become entrenched in the bottom 3 long before New Year's Day. Spirits may have been lifted by off-field events, but on-pitch matters are bringing with them the ghosts of the past.